Let's unmute. Hi. Hi, everyone. Oh my God, guys, I missed you. Did you miss me? It's been forever. Low-key, it felt like a little vacation, honestly. Hi, and hi, people in my kick. I really didn't expect anyone to go to my kick. What's up? Hi, Mar. Hi, Alibaba. Hey, Steve. Travis says 82 today in Austin, warm. What is up? Ew. Ugh. Anything above like 72, take me out. No, thank you. I hate the heat. It's because it's so much. Oh, because I guess Kik was sending notifications? That's so funny. Oh. Street says you look like a young Betty Davis. You said that before. You're so sweet. You're so sweet. All Eyes says, I was trying to reply to someone on Twitter and the Kik notif banner was like, Shaboog is live. Wow. Well, I guess Kik is like holding out for me. Thanks, guys. Hey, everyone. Hey, Heather. Hey, Tammy. Oh, thanks, everyone, for coming in tonight. So, if you guys didn't know, I kind of got in a little trouble. I got in a little trouble because I used someone's first available pictures on Google.com, and I put them together and I made them all pretty. Like I got in trouble. So because of that, I had to take a little mini break, but we are back in action. We are going to get to more of the, what the fuck were these investigators doing? It's just going to take a minute, be on the safe side. I'm not trying to deal with like a bunch of copyright strikes when I have episodes to do about people like Aniah Blanchard and freeing Ricky, getting Richard Allen out of prison. We have things to do. I can't be messing around with copyright strikes. So they win this battle, but they do not win the war, my loves. So tonight we are going to be talking about Aniah Blanchard. Aniah's case is very special to me. When this all went down, it was 2019. It was pretty much right before I went to rehab. Shout out rehab. It works. But this happened right before I went to rehab. And I don't know, for some reason, something about Aniah just stuck with me. And I have not forgotten her a single day since in her story. So I'm excited to talk about her with you guys tonight. Her alleged killer, Ibraheem Yazeed, I think that's how you say it, who really cares? He's going on trial finally, and that begins this Monday, March 2nd. And it's going to be jury selection for about a week or so. And then it's going to go into the trial, and I'm going to be doing nightly recaps about what goes on each day of trial, as much as I possibly can. I'm basically going to be listening to the trial at work. I think it's being televised. I haven't confirmed that, but they said they're covering it. News media said it's covering it. So even if they can only report on it, I'll still be doing a recap every night. Thanks everyone coming in. Hey Nova or Carrie. Hey Keith. All right. So let's get into Aniah's. Oh, but also I wanted to say tonight is Aniah, and then I'm going to be recapping the trial, and then I'm going to try to find some time to talk about our friend Jake Clear some more, and Kathy Shank. We are not done. where that chapter is. So we will get back to some of that and more Free Ricky content as well. So if you guys haven't yet, if you could subscribe and like, I would super appreciate it. Is she not the cutest? The cutest little girl. My God. All right, everyone. So this is Aniah Haley Blanchard. She was born on June 22nd, 2000 in Northport, Alabama. She grew up in Homewood near Birmingham, Alabama. She was the daughter of Elijah Blanchard, a businessman and pastor, and Angela Haley Harris, a registered nurse. Tragically, Aniah's murder wouldn't be the first loss of a child for the couple, who would later divorce in 2004. Before Aniah's birth, Angela and Elijah Sr. had a baby boy named Darian, who was born in 1994, but tragically passed away around 3 years old in a car accident. Afterward, Aniah's brother Elijah Jr. was born just 17 months before Aniah. Aniah had a really close relationship with her older brother, whom she followed to college in the Auburn area. Have you guys heard of Aniah's case before tonight? She's so cute. So beautiful. So this is Aniah in the middle, and that is her mother. To her right, that's Angela. And to the left is her stepfather, Walt Harris. He is a UFC he was former UFC heavyweight fighter. And this is Aniah's father in the middle, Elijah Sr. And this is her brother to the far right, Elijah Jr. Like such an amazing looking family. Aniah and her mom. Wow, no one in here looks like no one's really heard of this. Heavy says no. No, Steve says no. Mar, no. Hey, Mother Dragons. E Prime, don't. Just don't. Okay, so after Aniah's parents divorced, both of her parents went on to remarry. Elijah Sr. married Yeshiba, and her mother, Angela, remarried former UFC fighter Walt Harris, who we see in this picture as well. Angela and Walt went on to have 2 more children, also pictured here, a boy and a girl named Asa and Ayla, whom Aniah was also very close to, even helping raise them, because her mom was a nurse and she had like very demanding hours. Aniah stepped up for everyone in her life, not because she had to, but because she loved and cared so deeply, and she wanted to be there for her loved ones. She and her stepfather, Walt, grew especially close as he grew to count on her support and advice, not only with her younger siblings, but if he was ever feeling down and out about a fight or he just needed support, he would go to Aniah. And Aniah supported him as much as she supported everyone she loved around her and her family. Altogether, Aniah's family was really large and had a lot of layers, but it was filled with nothing but love from all sides. And it seemed like from day one, no matter what was going on, they were working to support each other and to co-parent well and just maintain peace and a happy family. As a person, Aniah was described by family and friends as deeply caring, always putting others before herself, and serving as a source of strength and encouragement for those around her, like a rock that kept people going. She was athletic and active in her youth, participating as a cheerleader and softball player while growing up. At the time of her disappearance in 2019, the 19-year-old was a student at Southern Union State Community College, where she was pursuing a degree in early childhood education with aspirations to become a teacher and a softball coach. Aniah Blanchard was beloved by everyone she crossed paths with. Aniah was an absolutely stunning young woman who was just as intelligent as she was beautiful. She was going to college, she had a tight-knit group of friends, and she was extremely close to her blended family as a whole. This is Aniah. In the middle is her father, Elijah Sr., his mother, and her brother again, Elijah Jr., to the right. Such a beautiful family, everyone's saying. So, on October 23rd, 2019, when she was 19 years old, Aniah had been visiting family in her hometown of Homewood, Alabama. And Aniah had been with her brother Elijah at a memorial, actually. They had just lost a family friend. So Aniah and Elijah were with family where they were raised. Unfortunately, had just lost someone else. She had been at that memorial with her mom, I believe her stepfather, her siblings, and her brother. Once it got later in the evening, Aniah and her brother, Elijah Jr., said goodbyes to their mom before they had to head back to Auburn, Alabama, where they went to school. They were both in college, and it was quite a road trip. It wasn't like a short distance. So they left like early evening, and Aniah immediately dropped her brother off at his school dormitory and had told her brother Elijah that she was, going to go straight home. And that was, unfortunately, the last time anyone would see Aniah or lay eyes on her as far as her family. So Aniah, she did head straight home for the most part, but she decided to stop at a local Chevron gas station near her apartment to grab her favorite late night comfort snack, which was sour cream and onion chips. Fire. What I'm going to play for you guys coming up is the last footage of Aniah Blanchard that soon the whole world would be watching over and over, because after this, Aniah would go missing.
Walt Harris, Angela Harris here. If you have any leads on where our daughter is, Aniah Blanchard, please go to the authorities. Tell someone she was last seen in a black Honda CRV 2017. Tag is 49 B2356 BS 356. I'm sorry. She was possibly last seen downtown Auburn. At downtown Auburn, Southeastern, and Sky Bar. If you have any information, please come forward.
So that night, she visited the Chevron gas station on South College Street in Auburn around 11:21 p.m. So here is, make sure you guys see what I'm looking at. Here is Homewood, where Aniah grew up with her family. As you can see, it's like stunning. It's like filled with nothing but green. Oh, just beautiful. So that's the area that Aniah grew up in and was raised. However, she was going to college in Auburn, over here, and she was abducted from this Chevron by her apartment, I believe. Okay, so that night she visits the Chevron gas station on South College Street. 11:21 is when she's last captured on this surveillance video. After this, she exchanges Snapchat messages with her roommate. Her roommate is named Sarah. And I believe I have a picture of Sarah in here. If it wants to work. Of course it doesn't. There we go. So this is Aniah and her roommate, Sarah. So after Aniah's seen on the surveillance video, her roommate's checking in with her and asks where she is because she expected her home. And she starts telling her roommate about some guy named Eric, that she had just met a guy named Eric, and that she was going to smoke a blunt with Eric, right? Which wasn't really like Aniah. She wasn't the type to just, oh yeah, I'm going to head straight home, but actually I'm just not going to go home. I'm going to go smoke a blunt with some random guy I just met. That wasn't like Aniah, right? And she also had a dog named Blue, who was her everything, and she would never leave Blue for as long as she had to that night, right? Cutest little doggy. But Sarah kind of like let it go and went to sleep. And when she woke up, Aniah was not in her bed. And so right away, Sarah knew this isn't right. Aniah should definitely be home by now. She would not leave her dog this long without, she just wouldn't, and she never had. So let's do stop sharing.
I'm Michael Clark in for Jack and Sherry. It's now been a week since anyone has heard from Blanchard. Thursday, police announced they now believe Blanchard is the victim of foul play, and tonight the reward is up to $105,000. CBS 42's Lee Garner joins us in studio. And Lee, there's a lot of information that we're still piecing together tonight.
That's right, Michael. Police made the chilling determination after the Department of Forensic Sciences examined evidence from Blanchard's Honda CR-V. It was recovered in Montgomery 1 week ago today. We still don't know what that evidence was, but we got together with a retired FBI agent to pick his brain about some of the missing pieces in this case.
So at this point, they end up finding Aniah's car. Okay, so Aniah's been missing for been about a week, I want to say, and they end up finding her car. But it's 55 miles south of the Chevron that she disappeared at. And it's near Montgomery, Alabama. So let's go over here. So we go out like here. This is the Chevron Aniah was abducted from. And then her car is found way down south over here, 55 miles south. And it is found in this random apartment complex right here, in Montgomery, Alabama. So very odd, but even more concerning was the damage on the car. So let me switch again. So this is the Chevron she was abducted from. And this is where they found her car, 55 miles south in Montgomery. There we go. Okay. So here's a picture of Aniah's car when they found it. It looks normal from this side, but on the passenger side, they found a ton of damage. And Aniah was not in the car. Yeah. Random place to leave a car, for sure.
Case.
I thought about blood, and that naturally goes back to my law enforcement training. I don't know what they found, nor should I. They're holding certain things dear, evidence and information, which police have to do.
Jack Owens is retired FBI with 29 years spent in Birmingham.
I'm concerned about the car, which was hit in some way, and there seemed to be white paint on Blanchard's car. And that opens up a lot of interviews. Do we have garages involved? Someone, the perpetrator, who was perhaps driving a car and hit her, did he take his car or she somewhere to be repaired? There are a lot of things to be done.
We talked over the evidence that we've seen in the Aniah Blanchard case, like the surveillance video.
Blanchard looks concerned to me. She seemed to be preoccupied.
Owens says seeing it made him uneasy and wonder about the timeline. When exactly did Aniah come in contact with the suspect?
That critical period of time between just after midnight on Thursday morning, the 24th, until Friday, the 25th, when her vehicle was found in Montgomery, we were really hoping that someone would contact us and let us know about that time period between Auburn and Montgomery.
And when asked if investigators think Aniah is in danger.
Absolutely. I mean, at this point, we feel like that is absolutely the case. So we feel like that she has been the victim of foul play at this point.
We also asked Owens about something that we've noticed. Aniah Blanchard is not listed on the FBI's list of missing or kidnapped people. Why? Owens says, of course, since he is not part of the investigation, he doesn't know, but he says the investigators are very strategic and he feels there is a reason. In studio, Lee Garner, CBS 42 News local coverage you can count on.
2 weeks. That's how long 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard has been missing. That's where.
So this is going on 2 weeks now. 2 weeks she's been missing, and EquiSearch steps in. EquiSearch is this, I think they're out of Texas. I really should have looked up the info on them to talk about them more accurately, but they assist, free, completely free search help when loved ones are missing. So it was amazing when I heard they stepped in.
For Start Tonight, I'm Connor Board.
And I'm Mike Black. She's from Auburn, but police say they found her car at an apartment complex in Montgomery. That's about 50 miles of terrain to search. But now investigators are getting some help from Texas EquiSearch, a nonprofit search and rescue organization. Their resources range from horse and rider teams to foot searchers and ATVs. For the group's founder, every search hits close to home because his daughter was abducted and murdered.
We've got a lot of areas to search. We know this is process of elimination. We got a lot of things to eliminate, and hopefully we can help bring this to some type of a close.
Miller says they'll stay as long as he feels they are helping.
Police in Alabama releasing new photos of a man wanted in connection to the disappearance of 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard, the stepdaughter of UFC heavyweight Walt Harris.
This as Harris and his wife meet with the mother of another girl whose disappearance captured international headlines.
Police in Auburn releasing these photos of the lead.
So EquiSearch steps in and they release more to the surveillance video, right? They released these screenshots of this individual, this man, who will come to be the person that is about to stand trial for the murder of Aniah Blanchard. And they notice him in the surveillance video, and it looks like he's looking at her. Like, he notices her very obviously in the surveillance. but it didn't appear like he knew her, just that he noticed her.
Suspect in the case. The man has not yet been identified, but was seen in the same convenience store that Blanchard was in the day of her disappearance. Investigators and volunteers hoping the newly released photos may lead to some answers.
We got a lot of areas searched. We know this is process of elimination. We got a lot of things to eliminate, and hopefully we.
Auburn police now looking for persons of interest, a person of interest in the disappearance of 19-year-old college student Aniah Blanchard. WVTM 13's Bria Douglas spoke with Aniah's father tonight. How's he feeling about the latest news, Bria?
Guy, he told me having a person of interest makes him more hopeful that Aniah will be found alive. Listen to what he thinks happened to his daughter.
I just feel like she's out there being held against her will, and I feel like she wouldn't be able to bring my daughter home.
Take a close look at this picture. Police say this man was last seen with Aniah inside that convenience store in Auburn. Elijah Blanchard feels a person of interest means the family is one step closer to closure.
I think they may be able to find out exactly where my daughter is.
It's been 2 weeks since anyone's heard from the Homewood High School graduate. Her father thinks she was at the wrong place at the wrong time and was targeted.
I really just think that my daughter was at that store and she was just a victim of someone just out there just trying to find somebody to, get in trouble with.
About a week after her disappearance, her SUV was found damaged at an apartment complex in Montgomery. Reward money is up to $105,000 for information leading to an arrest and her disappearance.
I think somebody did see something, and I think that they just now, when they see the reward go up to $105,000, I feel like people started making phone calls and just kind of started telling people what really went on.
And Elijah would like for people to post the person of interest on their social media pages to really get the word out. And Guy, he's asking for anyone with tips to call police.
All right, Bria, thanks.
News with Art Franklin.
Good morning.
So they end up identifying the suspect as Ibraheem Yazeed. He was 30 years old at the time of her disappearance. Hi, Joni, by the way, and hi, Micah. I hope I said that right. Is it Micah? It wouldn't be Mika, right? That's not right. What's up? Thank you so much for coming, guys.
And welcome into the CBS 42 Morning News.
So, by the way, he was identified, Ibraheem Yazeed, about 30 years old, I believe, at the time. And would you want to guess if he has a record?
Melissa Rothermick, we have breaking news to tell you about at this hour. The suspect in connection with the disappearance of Homewood native Aniah Blanchard is behind bars this morning. Just hours ago, authorities arrested
the best first mugshot of all time. When I saw this picture come out of this mother, I screamed. I was so passionate. I am still so passionate about Aniah's case. And I was so into this case that I was looking through like the wooded areas near Montgomery, Alabama, looking for like places where it looked off, on satellite or something. Like, it was serious. I was like really in deep with this one. So when they arrest him, I was thrilled that they had found him. But more so when I saw this motherfucking face.
30-year-old Ibraheem Yazeed in Escambia County, Florida. CBS 42's Hillary Simon has been.
And also, yes, if you're keeping track, Alabama arrested in Florida.
Following the breaking details all morning, she joins us now live in studio with the latest. Hillary.
Yeah, Alyssa, Ibraheem Yazeed was booked around 2:30 this morning at the Escambia County, Florida jail. Now, we're just getting new video that shows Yazeed being arrested. Take a look at the video. It shows him in the custody of the U.S. Marshal's Office and going into an ambulance. The Escambia County Sheriff's Office did tell us.
Damn! He got knocked the fuck out!
That the arrest and going look at the video.
Look at
It
his
shows
face.
him
Look at that motherfucker's face. This is satisfying.
in the custody of the U.S. Marshal's Office and going into an ambulance. This Escambia County Sheriff's
You have fucked up.
Office did tell us that the arrest where they assisted the U.S. Marshals was off I-10 at the Pine Forest exit, and that's right by the Alabama-Florida state line. That's the video you're looking at now. Yazeed is listed on the jail website on no bond, and he was booked around 2:30 again this morning. He is also listed as an out-of-state fugitive and on hold for the Auburn Police Department. We learned yesterday that Yazeed was already out on bond from previous charges of kidnapping and attempted murder. He has a long history.
Did you hear that? Let's play that again.
With Lond from previous charges of the police department. He is also listed as an out-of-state fugitive and on hold for the Auburn Police Department. We learned yesterday that Yazeed was already out on bond from previous charges of kidnapping and attempted murder.
He was out when she was abducted. He was out on bond for attempted murder. Okay? Not just any old attempted murder. Okay, let's see here. So I pulled up his priors, right? Okay, so April 2011, charged with 2 counts of first-degree robbery, armed robbery at a motel with co-defendants, stole $2,700 in cash, wallets, cell phone, etc. Grand jury ended up dismissing the case. January 2012, charged with attempted murder after allegedly ramming his... Sound familiar? Charged with attempted murder after allegedly ramming his vehicle into a Montgomery police patrol car at a gas station in an attempt to run down 2 officers. Grand jury declined to indict. How does that happen, by the way? What is going on in Alabama where a grand jury doesn't indict? Especially when he's like, I would love to know further details on that. All right, September 2013 to 2015, multiple arrests for gun and drug offenses, including possession of a pistol without a permit, first-degree marijuana possession, crack cocaine possession, drug paraphernalia, attempting to elude police, and second-degree marijuana. Outcome, he pleaded guilty in 2015 to felony drug possession, received a 13-month suspended sentence, 6 months probation, served 30 days in county jail on the misdemeanor gun charge, blah, blah, blah. So July 2017, March 2018. He's arrested in Missouri on a Kansas warrant for aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, aggravated assault, fleeing a law enforcement officer, and first-degree marijuana possession. Convicted of fleeing and possession, acquitted on the assault and battery charges. How is this man continuously assaulting police and getting away with it? He was sentenced to 16 months in jail, but released after credit for time served, so about 8 months. So this next one is the big one. February 2019. So early same year that Aniah is abducted. He's charged with 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping, 2 counts of first-degree robbery, attempted murder, and first-degree marijuana possession. Allegedly part of a group that entered a hotel, held 2 men hostage at gunpoint, severely beat one. A 77-year-old man was left unconscious and near death, beat and robbed the other person, and stole items including a Rolex, firearms, wallets, and cash. One victim was found in a vehicle stopped by deputies. He was arrested and released on a $295,000 bond. June 2020, after Aniah, he was charged for a 2018 cold case. So he's been charged since Aniah's disappearance with murder in a December 2018 shooting death of Stephen Hamby, 29, and attempted murder of a woman who was shot in the face in a wooded area near the Maxwell Boulevard Salvation Army. Just stellar.
He has a long history with law enforcement and has been charged before, but according to court documents, never indicted by a grand jury. Now, it's been more than 2 weeks since 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard went missing. The college student and Homewood native was last seen at a convenience store in Auburn on October 23rd. Police also released pictures of Yazeed that showed him at the same store that Aniah was last seen, all around the same time. And there has been a $105,000 reward for information on Aniah's case. We're waiting to hear back from the U.S. Marshal's Office to go into detail about how Yazeed was captured and if we know anything now about the whereabouts of Aniah Blanchard. We'll have another live update for you at 6:30. Alyssa, back to you.
Hillary, thank you. CBS 42 has been following the case of Aniah Blanchard since she disappeared. Alerts sent right to your phone.
We begin with breaking news in the kidnapping of Auburn teenager Aniah Blanchard. New evidence just revealed as a suspect arrested here on the Gulf Coast just went before a judge. News 5's Blake Brown is live at the Escambia County Courthouse. What happened today in court, Blake?
Well, Cherish, Ibraheem Yazeed was in court here this afternoon. It's really been a whirlwind of a day since his capture last night near Pine Forest Road. Now, court documents today say blood that was discovered in Aniah Blanchard's car was, quote, indicative of someone suffering a life-threatening injury. The Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences confirming the blood in that car was, in fact, the missing Auburn teenagers. His mugshot showing a swollen left eye, and that's also what we saw in court today, too. Now, Yazeed will be extradited back to Auburn, where this alleged kidnapping took place. The vehicle was discovered in Montgomery this week, and it was last night around 11:30 when Yazeed led authorities on a short chase near I-10 and Pine Forest Road. The U.S. Marshals also involved in that case. We're told a K-9 unit also used to bring him into custody. But again, the big news today is that he will now be extradited back to Auburn. Of course, a developing story that will continue to follow for you. For now, reporting live tonight.
So, what they hadn't released before that they end up releasing upon his arrest is the fact that when they found Aniah's car, not only did it have damage on the right side, there was actually a bullet hole in the passenger side door and a lot of blood in the passenger side seat. So much blood in the passenger side seat that they said it would have been fatal. So they haven't found Aniah yet, but it didn't look great.
In Pensacola, I'm Blake Brown, WKRG News 5.
Thank you. The man arrested for the disappearance of a young woman in Auburn last month will be remaining in jail without bond. Court records filed today show that a Lee County district judge denied the bond request for Ibraheem.
They should always use that picture forever and ever and ever for this motherfucker.
Yazeed. He's charged with first-degree kidnapping for the disappearance of 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard. Blanchard was reported missing on October the 24th. She was last seen at a convenience store in Auburn. A witness told police they saw Yazeed force Blanchard into her car at the convenience store and then drive away. Surveillance video also shows the suspect was inside the convenience store at the same time as the victim.
So, there was a witness who saw him force Aniah into her vehicle against her will. And he did not report that to police until days later. Maybe weeks. I don't know the exact timetable, but his wife told him to stay out of it.
Blanchard's car turned up a couple of days later at an apartment complex in Montgomery.
Stunning testimony from a detective today about the disappearance of Aniah Blanchard.
Bond denied in the case. It is headed to a grand jury. The judge.
I mean, it's crazy for attempted murder, bond after, and not only just because of that, but when he has such a violent history too.
Ordering a DNA test from Ibraheem Yazeed. He's the man accused of kidnapping Blanchard. Our Toy Thornton is in the studio now with the latest about what happened in court. Toy.
Well, Byron and Lanise, a detective who testified today, says a tearful and regretful witness described what happened the day Blanchard disappeared. He's the man accused.
Yeah, so it was at the time a 2017 Honda CR-V Black was her vehicle.
Accused of kidnapping Aniah Blanchard last month, Ibraheem Yazeed was brought before a judge today in Lee County. The most disturbing revelation yet in this case, a witness telling investigators that he saw Aniah Blanchard being kidnapped.
Said he observed Blanchard and a black male later positively identified as Ibraheem Yazeed at the store at the same time, and he observed Yazeed forcing Blanchard into her vehicle against her will and then leaving with her in that vehicle.
The man not coming forward sooner because his wife told him to stay out of it. Blanchard went missing on October.
Y'all, none of us would. None of us would stay out of it. But God, stay out of it when your husband witnesses a young girl being forced against her will? Like, what?
October 23rd, she was last seen at an Auburn convenience store. Detectives say surveillance video also placed Yazeed there.
Who did he identify on the video?
Later identified as Mr. Ibraheem Yazeed in a camouflage jacket with a Vans logo on the back of it.
After a testimony at today's preliminary hearing, the judge sent the case to a grand jury and ordered Yazeed to provide a DNA sample. And a gag order remains in place preventing witnesses and other parties involved in the case from speaking.
We begin with breaking news. The second suspect in the kidnapping of 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard is being held without bond after his first court appearance. It's been 1 month since Blanchard vanished from the Chevron along South College Street in Auburn. Court records show Antoine Fisher provided transportation to another suspect, Ibraheem Yazeed, and disposed of evidence. Blanchard's SUV was discovered abandoned in Montgomery with her blood inside the vehicle.
Okay, so they end up arresting another suspect. I believe it was pretty much right around the same time. Hold on one sec here. Alrighty, so Antoine Squirmy Fisher, they end up arresting. And he has quite the history too. So in 2004, 2006, he has a felony murder conviction. Okay, murder conviction. Okay, this is important. In August 2004, Fisher, then referred to as Antoine Fisher, was arrested and charged with capital murder in the shooting death of Amy Rawls in Montgomery, Alabama. The incident was described as occurring during a robbery or drug deal. Rawls was shot and robbed of approximately $60. Another suspect was also charged. In 2006, Fisher pled guilty to a reduced charge of felony murder. He was sentenced to 19 years in prison with 2 years to serve, a split sentence structure common in Alabama at the time. Reports indicate that he ultimately served 3 years before release. He served 3 years for felony murder. What the hell is going on in Alabama? What is going on in their court system? It's wild. It's wild.
And a lot of developments happening today. As a matter of fact, Auburn police say investigators received information about the possible location of a body during their ongoing investigation into Blanchard's disappearance.
So they announced they have found possible remains that they believe to possibly be Aniah Blanchard pretty much right after this Antoine Fisher guy is arrested.
This is the area where the remains were discovered Monday morning, a rural area several feet into the wood line. The Lee County District Attorney says there is good reason to believe the remains are Blanchard's. Blanchard was last seen on surveillance tape inside a convenience store October 23rd, the night she disappeared. 2 suspects have been charged with kidnapping her. Antoine Squirmy Fisher was arrested Friday and was in court today. Court documents say Fisher provided transportation to the first suspect arrested, Yazeed, and disposed of evidence. During Yazeed's court appearance earlier this month, a detective gave testimony on what he says he was told from a witness.
Said he observed Blanchard and a black male later positively identified as Ibraheem Yazeed at the store at the same time, and he
the Montgomery Police Department, Central Alabama Crime Stoppers, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, Macon County Sheriff's Office, Auburn Opelika Police Department, Lee County Sheriff's Office, the Alabama Infusion Center, the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, as well as I said before, the Florida Gulf Coast University Department of Justice, their forensic anthropology team that came in and assisted the Department of Forensic Science in confirming again that these are Aniah Blanchard's remains.
While this certainly does not bring comfort or closure to Aniah Blanchard's family, does it provide any relief that you are able to provide them with some answers?
Well, that would have been the...
So, unfortunately, they were able to confirm that the remains they found were in fact Aniah. I was reading that part of them identifying her remains was they had a picture of her shoe, and they ended up showing that picture to her mom and her stepdad Walt, and Walt said excuse me, and he started screaming and punching a wall because those had been the shoes he had just bought her. Fucking terrible. So if we look at this, Aniah went to school all the way up in Auburn. She is abducted from this Chevron. Her car is found 55 miles south in Montgomery. And then her remains are found somewhat in between the two locations. So cars found here, remains are found here. So if we go over here, so this is the area that she was found. She was found, I believe, further into the tree line, some feet. So it pretty much, according to the second individual that they arrest, Antoine Squirmy, whatever the hell, he lived at the apartments that Aniah's car was found. So the story from this other suspect is that Ibraheem Yazeed showed up at his house in Montgomery needing transportation. So he ends up getting into the Squirmy's car, and he has something with him, and he directs him to this location, and Squirmy says that he witnesses Ibraheem pulling something wrapped in a blanket from the trunk and then dragging it into the wood line. And he says at this point he saw legs. And when Ibraheem got back to the car, Squirmy alleges that he said, "Please tell me that wasn't a body." And Ibraheem says, "I shot a girl because she went for my gun." And that is according to one of the suspects. So.
And
Worst scenario is.
we're
We're starting with breaking news right off the top tonight.
Investigators releasing new details within the last few minutes on the Aniah Blanchard case.
Our Tyler Finger tracking the latest breaking details. Tyler, do we know how she was murdered?
Yeah, we do, Lanice and Byron. In that press conference from Auburn, just within the last half hour, the Lee County DA confirmed 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard was shot. Her remains were found in Macon County last week. Just an absolutely tragic story here. Investigators believe Blanchard was abducted by this man, Ibraheem Yazeed, at a convenience store in October. That's where Blanchard was last seen alive. You see her last moments right there on the right part of your screen. With that latest information, the charges against Yazeed have been upgraded to capital murder in connection.
So to this day, he is still charged with capital murder, so he is eligible for the death penalty. I mean, maybe if he did it, if they have to prove he did it in court, I understand. But it's not looking good for dude.
With the kidnapping and death of Blanchard, the DA says they are going to seek the death penalty.
We have determined that Mr. Yazeed is the lone person responsible in this case for abducting Aniah Blanchard.
Okay, so this is important, right? Because they've arrested, at this point, they actually arrested 3 people, okay? So they arrest Ibraheem, they arrest Antoine Squirmy, and then they end up arresting Antoine's dad. And they end up arresting Antoine's dad because they went to question him and ask if his son had transported Ibraheem to Florida. And he lied and said no. When in fact, the son was like, actually,
He is the lone person
and here's everything else that happened.
Responsible for Aniah's murder. He remains in Lee County Jail without bond, but he is also innocent of these charges until we overcome our burden and prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Blanchard's body was found in Shorter, Alabama, which is about halfway between Auburn and Montgomery, more than a month after her disappearance. 2 other people have also been arrested in this case, but the DA would not talk about anyone but Yazeed during the press conference just about 45 or so minutes ago. There is a lot to dissect here. I'm going to have a full wrap-up.
I want to say one more thing. I don't know if the mic is still on or not, but
So speaking, this was after Aniah's remains were found. They had a huge memorial service and they live streamed it. Aniah's father, Elijah Sr., was a pastor. And everything was blue. The reason why I'm wearing blue, the reason why the background tonight is blue and the reason why the Justice for Aniah is a blue ribbon. Baby blue was Aniah's favorite color. So like the whole town of Homewood where she was raised was just like nothing but blue all over. It was beautiful.
I want to say one more thing. I don't think we can stress this enough to say thank you to all the people from day one when we knew that something was wrong. We can't find Aniah. Hundreds of people, our friends, our family, were there in an instant, and they never left our side. And people we didn't know, the search teams, Vet Dirty, then EquaSearch, and everybody else. There's so many people to thank. Seth Brigette, Teola Winston, Haley, Jeremy Hurd. These are just special people that, Will Brooks. There's a lot of people to thank, but I just want them to know and that how much that meant to us, because without them, we wouldn't, those first 30 days wouldn't have, I don't know what we would have done, but they kept us together and they kept us focused. And I just want to say thank you again to all those people who came and helped, and again, who helped supply meals, supplied hotels for our families, the search crews, and anything you did. We can't acknowledge everybody, but I sincerely want to acknowledge everybody because I know everybody has done something, so thank you.
I wanted to reach back and thank the governor's office, Governor Kay Ivey, for every.
Speaking right now, before I change it, is that's Aniah's stepmom, Yeshiva, and that's her dad to the left.
And right to breaking news tonight, shocking details about a kidnapping and murder of Aniah Blanchard.
Right, her accused killer, Ibraheem Yazeed, telling a witness he shot Blanchard because she, quote, went for the gun. Yazeed now facing a second capital murder charge.
A court filing indicates an unnamed subject saw Yazeed at a Montgomery home wearing only shorts. He had a gun tucked into the shorts. That person indicated while they never saw Blanchard, Yazeed did have her vehicle and that he admitted to shooting a girl.
The 2 counts now of capital murder are for Blanchard's death during a kidnapping and for her death occurring inside a motor vehicle. Meanwhile, Yazeed started yelling in court today. Listen.
But they don't have no video, no audio of me shooting anyone. That's what I'm trying to see, how y'all want to bind me over on hearsay, but y'all ain't presenting no evidence.
Hi, Deebs, and thank you. You have the nicest everything. Yo, this guy was like, you don't have any audio or video of me shooting anyone, so how can you charge me? Oh. I guess he didn't realize you don't need audio video to charge someone with murder. You have a witness that says he literally saw you take the body from his vehicle and bring it out into the woods where her remains were ultimately found. But I digress.
Blanchard's body recovered last week in rural Macon County after she'd been missing for more than a month.
Tonight marks 1 year since 19-year-old Aniah Blanchard was abducted from an Auburn gas station. The case captivated national attention.
This is a year later, okay? So this is 2020.
During the month-long search, I'm Jack Royer.
And I'm Sherry Jackson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Friends and family gathered at Patriot Park in Homewood tonight to remember Aniah and the impact she had on so many lives in her hometown. CBS 42 News reporter Jake Chapman joins us now live in Homewood. And Jake, we can imagine how this day went for everybody.
This is a very tough day, guys, a really tough day indeed, since this is the 1 year anniversary. I talked to her mother before the ceremony today, and she was telling me that this is a lot harder. But you can see right here, this is the bench here at Patriot Park where they've honored Aniah Blanchard's memory. Now, 2 words stuck out to me: friends and community. And
Y'all, what's with benches when people pass away? What's with donating benches? Why is that a thing? Why is that so common?
tonight, folks, friends and community.
I mean, any kind of gesture is kind and is appreciated. I'm not saying it's not beautiful, but
came here to honor the fighting and loving spirit.
Maybe dedicate a building, you know, not something everyone sits their ass on.
Aniah Blanchard.
We all miss her so bad.
As a community grieves, the color blue in the number 22 filled Patriot Park, as everyone remembers the good times they had with Aniah Blanchard.
She was just...
Shibby says, benches are okay. I wish people would stop releasing balloons, though. Are you a stand for the environment, Shibby? That's beautiful. Always a bench, Liam says. Honestly, Classic says, I'd prefer a nice ornament or something. I love an ornament. Love a good ornament.
A beautiful light and loved life.
Every single day that I saw her, which was weekdays, it was just always happiness.
Though some were at a loss of words.
When Thursday came, but she did.
Her mother, Angela Harris, says not a day goes by without thinking of her angel.
You're so beautiful, and Mommy loves you so much, and I miss her so bad that I don't even know how I can live without her.
So she says the best way to honor her daughter,
I know my daughter fought her heart out for her life,
is to fight for others.
So, if you guys remember, Aniah's stepfather is a former heavyweight UFC fighter, Walt Harris, and he taught her a thing or two before they lost her. And according to like documents from what the media has said, Aniah fought that motherfucker. And I'm so happy she did. I bet he was so pissed.
This never happens again.
Harris promises to keep the fight alive.
For the rest of my life, I'm going to be trying to help change the world.
For Aniah, forever.
That I promise her that I will do everything I can to make sure that she can live through me and accomplish everything that she was going to in her life and more.
In East Alabama, the man accused of kidnapping and killing Aniah Blanchard appeared in a Macon room this morning on charges related to
a wooded area yesterday after Auburn police say they received information that led them there. CBS.
We've been talking all morning about crime victims, and one woman in our area.
So, Aniah likely lost her life on October 24th, 2019. The trial for Ibraheem Yazeed is set to start this Monday, March 2nd, 2026. You know how many years that's been? Almost 7 years since this happened. And this family has had to wait almost 7 years to see some sort of justice for their daughter. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I don't know what the hell Alabama was doing before, but Aniah's mom and Walt and, her whole family really got behind introducing Aniah's Law. And we'll learn a little bit about Aniah's Law.
Has been on a mission to change laws statewide after her daughter was kidnapped and murdered. We're talking about Aniah Blanchard, and her mother, Angela Harris, has been fighting for years now for justice, pushing to get Aniah's Law passed. Angela Harris is joining us now live over Zoom. Angela, thanks so much for joining us here on Alabama Live.
You're welcome.
Tell us about Aniah's Law. How do you feel now that it's in effect in our state and in use?
Wow, it's amazing, actually. I was worried in the beginning when it did. I knew it would pass. I knew that it would be a law, but I was worried that, that the DAs and judges wouldn't use it as much as I wanted them to. And actually, it's been the opposite. It's being used.
So ultimately, Aniah's Law, what it did was it introduced a way for Alabama judges to have discretion. Now, they could be presented with evidence for a bond or to be against bond, and now judges have much more discretion in Alabama as to whether they do give someone bond or not, especially when there's a violent history, which is normal for most courts. I know in California, if you have like a prior conviction of like murder, or you've got battery charges or whatever, you just have a violent history, they typically, especially on attempted murder or murder, do not give you bond. So essentially, Aniah's Law was designed and passed in 2022 to give Alabama judges more discretion there and to make it so that people like Ibraheem Yazeed aren't out on fucking bond for attempted murder and have the opportunity to take from the world this amazing human, Aniah Blanchard.
Every day, every week, and all the time, and it's really amazing. I'm so happy.
There's a judge right now after that shooting in Dadeville.
And I just want to say too, outside of that, Angela Harris, Aniah's mom, has also, earlier we saw a news clip that she had met with Natalie Holloway's mom. Well, Angela has gone on to be an advocate for other parents when their children go missing. She's often involved in searches for missing children. She has just used this tragedy to make a difference, and it's been beautiful to see. I don't know if you guys remember that awful case. Carrie Russell, was it Carrie? What was her name? Carrie Russell's an actress. It was something Russell, I think. And she went, it was in Alabama, and she had faked her own kidnapping, right? She said she was on the side of the road. She called 911. She said she saw a toddler, and then she like disappeared. And then come to find out it was a giant hoax, and she was just pissed off at her boyfriend. Well, Angela had been like one of her family's like staunchest supporters, like fighting to find her and all this stuff, like put in all this help and work just for that to be a hoax. Carly, that was her name, I think.
Considering Aniah's law as they get ready to set bond, what does that mean to you when you hear something like that?
Well, actually, I have a personal, just as not it being Aniah's law, but I actually knew 4 of the victims. I spoke at Dadeville High School on October 28th of 2022 about Aniah's law, and it was the last high school I spoke at, and so I knew Phil and
You do not want to make Walt Harris angry.
I saw Ashley Banfield did something on it, and I said we had to watch Ashley Banfield be dramatic as fuck. You know what? I used to really love Ashley Banfield. I'm not saying I don't love Ashley Banfield still. She's fine. But please pay attention to how dramatic this woman is.
And if you do make Walt Harris angry, you do not want to make Walt Harris angry. And if you do make Walt Harris angry, you should consider getting out of Dodge. Walt is a UFC fighter, one of the toughest guys out there. He is also used to headlines, just not the headlines that he and his wife encountered after their 19-year-old daughter, Aniah Blanchard, was kidnapped and murdered 5 years ago. The man accused of doing it had been out on bond from another kidnapping when Aniah was killed. Police say Ibraheem Yazeed spotted her at a convenience store in Auburn, Alabama, forced her into her own car, kidnapped her, and then shot her to death. Her parents have been waiting 5 long years to get justice in their daughter's case. But that doesn't mean that Walt and his wife Angela have been sitting by idly, not even close. Instead, they got to work to make sure that the suspect would be stuck in his own personal.
Classic says, I think Lauren mimics her. You're talking about Lauren Matthias. I would not, that kind of, she does do that in her videos a little bit, but I think you might be on something there.
Cage match, regardless of all the trial delays. I'm joined now by Aniah's mother, Angela Harris, and Aniah's stepfather, Walt Harris. We should mention that the suspect in this case is currently facing 3 capital murder charges. Thank you both for being on. And just I
didn't know that. I guess it was 2, and then now it's 3 capital murder charges.
send you my condolences in what you've had to go through, first in the loss of your daughter, but then also in this 5-year battle for justice. Well, let me ask you what you know about the holdup. Wait,
what was the Ashley Banfield with Jeffrey Epstein thing? Was that the what was that thing about her? Was she just in like emails they were talking about her, or was there something about her knowing him? Or was it that she thought he was cute? Didn't someone say they thought he was cute? I think that was Sarah Ferguson, though. Yes, the cadence. That's the word I was trying to, the cadence of speech. Yes.
It's taking so.
Mar says she was interested in him. That's disgusting. She seems like she's tall. I feel that she would be much too tall for him. You know, besides the whole he's a disgusting piece of shit factor.
Long.
From my understanding they had to go back to square one, start everything over to make sure they had all their I's dotted and their T's crossed to make sure they can get a conviction. And the Attorney General took over.
Yeah, like not only is he a piece of shit, but he's also really short.
So he
Short kings out there, I love you. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being short. Just don't be short and gross.
wanted to be as thorough as possible. And I believe that's what's going on right now. And I think that they were having issues keeping, some things going, in his favor or whatever. But that's all I know at the moment.
Mar says, I only like tall. I'm 5'3". Literally everyone is taller than me. So I have some discretion. However, that being said, actually, okay, so like once a guy who was like my height, once, not worth it. Never again.
And Angela, when you...
But like 5'9" is like the cutoff. I feel like 5'9" is good. 5'9" is perfect.
Found out that the suspect in this case had been out on bond from a prior when he was...
Keith, Keith says, I'm 5'10", my girlfriend is 6 foot. That's amazing. And I'm dying to see a photo of this. And if you have one, please, God, share it with me, and I'll never share it with a living soul. Tammy has said she's 5'11". Dang. Okay, supermodel. Oh, and Heavy. Okay, supermodels in chat. Shit. Okay. I'll just be down here. Hi. Hi, guys.
Able to do allegedly what he did to your daughter. What was your first reaction?
I couldn't believe it. I was in shock that our state would let somebody with that bad of a criminal, history be on the streets. So I was really shocked, and I was like, this can't be how.
Keith, she asked us where we stood one time, and I told her she should be standing under the basket getting rebounds. Oh, we got a short king. Short king. Damn, 6'8". I've never had a like super tall boyfriend in my life, or a husband. Boyfriend or a husband. Like my husband, my ex-husband sort of is 5'9", and my last ex was 5'9", and I think the tallest was 5'11". I think next time I'd like a good 6 foot or taller. I feel like that would be great. I think we should do this next time.
How can we let this happen? And we knew something needed to be done about it.
Well, if there's a fighter, boy, oh boy, it's you two. Walt, tell me a little bit about Aniah's Law. You together fought to change things in Alabama so that other people wouldn't go through what you're going through. As I understand it, at the time that Aniah was killed, Alabama law said that only capital murder suspects could be denied bail, but this suspect was out on bond for kidnapping and attempted murder and robbery, but not a capital crime. That's different now, right? That's changed.
Yes, ma'am. Aniah's Law is a law that gives judges the opportunity to keep violent offenders behind bars. They have a hearing process. They present evidence that either on the side of keeping them or the side of letting them go, and the judge makes a decision based on what he's hearing. And there's been a amazing amount, amazing amount of judges that are using it to keep violent offenders off the street.
You know, I'm looking at pictures of Aniah, and Angela, I just wanted to ask you, she's so beautiful, just her pictures in the video, just what an esprit de corps. What would you like people to know about your daughter, Angela?
I just want them to know the videos that you're showing and what they're seeing is exactly who she was. She was so beautiful, but not only beautiful on the outside, her heart was so beautiful. And she was just so funny and so sweet and so caring. She was just the best. And I don't know, she was our best friend. Even though she's our daughter, she was our best friend. She was just the life of our family, to be honest with you.
Well, I am hoping and praying that these 5 years won't be in vain, that you will get the justice that you deserve, and that it will come a lot more swiftly. And I thank you for the work that you've both done to make sure other families won't have this same thing happen to them. Angela and Walt Harris, thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it.
The man accused of kidnapping and killing Aniah Blanchard nearly 6 years ago appeared in court today.
Ibraheem Yazeed was out on bond for other violent offenses at the time. The state legislature later passed Aniah's law as a way of keeping potentially violent suspects behind bars.
But various delays over the years have prevented Yazeed from standing trial. We learned today the state is ready, the defense is not. WSFA 12 News anchor Sally Pitts with the new information.
This was Ibraheem Yazeed's first status hearing since retired Justice Tom Young was appointed to oversee the case as part of the state's new Speedy Trial Act. Yazeed was transported from Lee County's jail to the Macon County courthouse where his trial will take place. The question still remains when that will happen. It has been nearly 6 years since Aniah Blanchard died. Investigators say Yazeed kidnapped Blanchard from an Auburn gas station in October of 2019. A month later, her remains were found in Macon County. Judge Young said he intends to move forward expeditiously with the case. The defense is asking for a May trial date due to the amount of evidence and witnesses. The state said it would be ready for trial whenever the court says to be. The defense also requested a new gag order in the case, which the prosecution did not.
Side note, that motherfucker got huge. Now, I'm not one to body shame. But when it's a motherfucker like this, yes, I am. Fuck you. And your stupid hair. Your hair looks stupid.
Judge Young asked both sides to submit to him what they
says you can't have sex with females anymore. All you have left to do is eat food.
would specifically like to see
You fucker.
included in the possible new order by Friday. Sally Pitts, WSFA 12 News.
Thanks, Sally. If convicted, Yazeed faces the death penalty. Stay with WSFA 12 News.
And charges were dismissed against one of 3 men arrested in the disappearance and murder of Aniah Blanchard. A Lee County judge dismissed a kidnapping charge against 35-year-old Antoine Fisher. The 19-year-old stepdaughter of UFC heavyweight Walt Harris was last seen in October at a gas station in Auburn. Her remains were found weeks later in a wooded area. A memorial service for Blanchard is scheduled for this.
So ultimately, the other 2 suspects that were arrested for Aniah's kidnapping, their charges were both dismissed. Basically, what it seems like is Antoine was questioned and sang like a canary and gave up Ibraheem, his location, everything that happened. I think that this trial coming up, it starts again March 2nd, but jury selection, I believe they're selecting from 400 to 450 people. So they believe it's going to take about the week. So maybe by Friday, court may start, hopefully. But it is just going to be Ibraheem Yazeed for capital murder, for the murder of Aniah Blanchard.
Saturday at Faith.
And I'm going to recap. Once trial gets started, I'll recap every night about what's going on. I can't believe the fucker is even like going through with it. It was so frustrating. Aniah was such an amazing, beautiful, smart, like she was gonna have the world at the palm of her hands. You could just tell. And like her energy was so awesome and just so beloved by everyone, and she was so supportive for her whole family, and she would help raise her own siblings. Like, it's such a huge loss and so unfortunate that it's taken almost 7 years to get this to trial. It was just crazy. So Unfortunate they had to lose Aniah to get there, but at least some changes have been made. Joni says, I wonder if any pretrial motions have been filed. Yeah, I'm not like, that's not my thing. I don't know how to do all that fun stuff yet, but that would be super interesting I need to do some digging into that and see. But there has been a gag order this entire time as well. So I don't know what that looks like as far as anything filed when there's been a gag order. So thank you guys for talking with me about Aniah. I look forward to talking more about her. We're not going to go just yet. I still want a little chit chat. So what would you guys, we have a couple options, but what would you guys like me to do? I have more Jake Clear stuff coming up with the Kathy Shank of it all. We could do, we got to wait on the Erica stuff. We just got to. And I want to do JonBenet Ramsey. Skinny said, thank God I just got here books. Oh my God, you love the Kathy Shank stuff, Skinny. I'm not. The smut is done. We're not doing the smut. I also really want to like low-key just have fun with you guys and like turn people like Jerry Holman into Sims characters on live and just shoot the shit. That would be kind of fun. But I'm going to do so terrible at making Jerry Holman as a Sims. Fiend, you're here. Hi. And Fiend says you should have CNN for Benet Ramsey. That is a fantastic idea. His entire blog is named after her, so that would be an excellent idea. Wait, I haven't looked into his stuff though. Is he who is he team did it? Who does he think did it? CN for anything. CN is our little local Free Ricky celebrity right now. CN is like all over media right now for doing the Nancy Guthrie thing. Like I always see JLR, but you also always see CN. I know CN is a fucking boss. Free Ricky says we love CN. I would not fuck with that man not one time. Wait, what did Tammy say? Oh no. Tammy says, my friend was murdered by her boyfriend in July of 2018 and we are still waiting for the trial. Oh my God, that's even longer. I'm so sorry. What state are you in? That's insane. CN's your uncle. That's crazy, Tammy. What state are you in, though? Because that's so long. Should be said old-fashioned pig roast. Yeah, literally roast him as I make him all fat and ugly. And I'll make Jerry Holman the Sim character gay man with Nick McClellan and see what their babies come out like. That'd be fun. Illinois. That's wild. I'm so sorry. And as tradition, Skinny says, and as tradition, Books goes live and my dog has to take a goal. I like that. You guys, did anyone go see Scream yet? Scream 7? It was so good. It was so good. Oh, yeah. My son thought it would be a good idea to like put this up in my background. I was like, sure. Add a little flair. I was like the first movie I've been to. Okay, so literally this happened. I went to Scream 7 with my kid, and I haven't been to a movie theater since Scream 5, which was like during COVID, kind of, or like right after. And fucking, I just walked in, and I'm used to like someone taking your ticket, right? Even though the tickets are on your phone, mine was on my phone. I'm used to like someone like having to go up with my ticket, but there was all these like kiosk things, and I didn't need to go to a kiosk because I already had my tickets on my phone, right? And then I just like walked, and I bought popcorn, and then I just like walked into the auditorium, and I was like, wait a minute, no one asked for my ticket. I'm like technically illegally in here, but not really. I was like, well, if this if I get in trouble with my kid, I'll have the ticket, so it's not like I'm really fucking not in here without paying. But I was like, I know it used to be easy to just walk into movies, but is it really still, is it easier now? Keith says, need movie theater ice on your ass. Oh my god. Ice don't want to fuck with me, because I'll give him a time. No, you know what I would do if Ice was on me? I'd do like that one guy in that video who like pretends he's deaf and does sign language. Whew. Uh-oh, we got a Kick viewer asking Dr. A, do I support ICE? Hell no. My answer is hell no. So let's see how that goes. Why would ICE be on you? Mar says. Excuse you. Are you implying that I'm not of Hispanic nature, history, ethnicity? My last name is Lopez. No, but I'm actually Irish and Italian, but I married a Puerto Rican guy. So I just worry. You know, it's getting like papers time back in Germany. Where's your papers? So if they see my last name, they might not care. I'm not concerned for me, really. I've been concerned for my son, like that they would just show up on campus looking for kids with Hispanic last names. They were trying to open an ICE facility in this abandoned jail right by his school, like a couple miles from his school. Luckily, it didn't pass, though. We're all good. And Dr. A said, I happy now. What a good. I happy, oh happy. I just better stop. It feels odd. It feels like it was really amped up and a bunch of shit was happening all at once, and now all of a sudden it feels like it's not happening. I don't know if that's just the media abandoning the story or what's really going on. Tammy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It did. But, like, they left out a bunch of shit anyway that they still haven't released. So I don't know that it was about that. Did anyone hear about that, what Clinton said today? I was, like, kind of interested in what Clinton said, but apparently he just said, I don't know anything, I don't see anything. Yo, did y'all see Hillary Clinton yesterday? Hillary Clinton gets better looking with age, I swear to God. I swear to God, that woman gets better looking with age. MSM only has a 2-month attention span for anything. Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know if the stories just aren't on it anymore. Oh, I think I toned down because of the ACLU lawsuits coming through. Yeah, they are doing some shit. Thank God. Thank God. But isn't it weird how it just seemed like they were out there killing a person each week, and now... Hey, Mino. Hey, hey. So what do y'all think of this drama going on? I'm so over it. Honestly, that's kind of why I don't want to, like, keep trying to do, like, Erica shit. Erica Norse. Norse pagan goddess. Erica Norse. It's like, just make it stop already. Shibby says, Hillary did kind of swagger out of that hearing. LOL, like, I told you so. I love when she speaks. Anytime she does, like, a press conference type spiel after something, she's always got that, well, what did I fucking say? Yeah, I mean, so that is where the importance of not shutting up in me not shutting up comes, is I don't want to see her continue to worm her way into families' lives and attach like a succubus, and then if someone pisses her off, then she's gonna go like full tornado on the family. It's like, that is not someone you should have anywhere near victims. Good God. Classic says, I think Clintons are involved, IMO. Bill, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Bill was doing some fuck shit. Hillary, I've got mad respect for Hillary Clinton. Not only did I vote for Hillary Clinton in 2016, I voted for Hillary Clinton against Obama in the primaries. I've kind of had Hillary Clinton's back from day one. Oh, God, no. No. Keith says, or manipulate her way into trial number 2. Fuck no. Fuck no. Mother of Dragon says the drama is just crazy. Yeah, I kind of want everyone to get along. I mean, I'm not going to get along with, like, certain people, but I mean, like, just keep doing what we do and get fucking Rick Allen out of prison, guys. Oh. Heavy. I don't support any of them anymore. Just don't support toxicity. You don't need it, girl. None of us need it. None of us need that. Libertarian. Ooh. Does that mean you like hookers? I'm kidding. But really, does that mean you like hookers? Because me too. Like, I don't like hookers like I purchase them, but I mean, like, I support. Do what you want with your body. Do whatever you want. TC Key says, listen, Bill was terrible as fuck and Hill Dog knew about it. Yeah. Neither of them are doing what the current admin is doing to cover it up, which should be primary focus. IMO immaterial of party. Yeah. I mean, it's clear both sides are in the shit. And, you know, by the way, when Donald Trump is allegedly accused of doing shit in the files, I think he was a Democrat at that point. Just to be fair, you know. Yeah, okay. Heather meant I don't support Democrats or Republicans. I am a Democrat, but I don't support Democrats in office right now. Does that make sense? Like, I identify as a Democrat, but the Democrats that we have in leadership suck. Chuck Schumer, ass. Hakeem Jeffries, ass. Just useless. Just absolutely useless. And they have been for, like, we got here. The reason why we're here right now with this shit is because we had, like, over a decade of just horrible Democratic leadership. Just horrible. Horrible. God, I wish there was a way to literally knock out everyone in Congress and just wipe them out. Not like kill them, guys, but like wipe them out and wipe them out from their jobs and replace them with new people in their positions. Oh, this is kind of fun. I've never literally been on a live stream where I've discussed my political views. Like, really, like, gotten into it. Chuck Schumer is a demon. Yeah. Chuck Schumer cares about Chuck Schumer. It's crazy. They all do. And who else? Oh, Lindsey Graham. He might be one of the worst. Elon was such a loser, even the gross loser pedophiles didn't want to hang out with him. How are you such a loser that even the pedophiles don't want to hang out with you? How does that work? Classic says I don't do political parties. Yeah. The problem with anything like that is that the people that go after those positions typically have like a power kink, right? So they're more inclined to corruption and shit because it's all about power. Ricky B says, Mom Donnie makes me want to move to the city for real, if I could afford it. But maybe I will be able to now that Mom Donnie's in office. All right, guys, I love you. I'm going to get out of here. I am going to set up a new stream soon. Get back on our Delphi thing. Get Keith back up here with me. But also remember to come back. Not next week, but probably the following week for continuing coverage of the trial of Ibraheem Yazeed, who's alleged to have killed the amazing, beautiful Aniah Blanchard. Rest in peace. I love you guys. Have a great night. Remember to subscribe if you haven't and like it. I love you. Bye.